A long time ago, there was a very dry time on the island of Oahu. No rains fell, and all of the streams were dry. Because there was no rain, crops were not able to grow, and the people were becoming worried. At the foot of Rocky Hill at the base of Manoa Valley lived an old couple, and these dry times were hard on them. Every day, Mukaka, the husband, would walk up to Manoa Valley to get tea roots and ferns for food. His wife, Kealoha, would walk down to Ka Mu'ili'ili, where a stream flowed. She would fill her water gourds there and carry them up the long, rough trail to her home near Rocky Hill. One day, the trip seemed more difficult than ever, so Kealoha stopped to rest on a rock. Water was very important, so she knew she needed to go to Ka Mu'ili'ili each day, but she was very tired and didn't want to continue.
Oh, ha'ole hiki ia'u ke holomua. Pono au, pono kawai.
She got up and lifted her carrying pole. It was a windy day, and the wind almost blew her down, but she struggled to walk back home. Mukaka was preparing food when she got home, but Kealoha was too tired to eat. She lay down on her mats and cried because she was so weary. When she finally got to sleep, she had a dream. In the dream, a man stood by her and asked, "Why are you crying?" "He aha ke kumu o kau ui ana." Kealoha answered that she was very weary because of the long, hot, dusty path she had to take every day to Ka Mu'ili'ili, and that she was too tired.
Ma luhi luhi au. Ma luhi luhi loa au.
The man told Kealoha that she didn't need to go to Ka Mu'ili'ili again because under a hala tree close to her home was a spring, and there she could fill her gourds. Mai hele ho, aya he puna malalo o ka puhala, kokoke I ko hale, e hohopiha oi I kau ipu. Then the man was gone. In the morning, Kealoha told Mukaka about her dream, but he didn't think it was true. He thought it was an empty dream that came about because she was thirsty. He moi uhane piha ole. Mukaka began to walk toward the upland Mauka, and Kealoha watched him wondering why he didn't do what the dream said, to pull up the hala tree to search for the spring.
E huki I ka puhala aloa a kawai.
She went to look at the tree and saw that the ground was dry and hard, so maybe there wasn't any water there. The dream must have been an empty one. But that night as they were sleeping, Mukaka had a dream. In his dream, a man sat by him and told Mukaka that there was water under the tree. The man told Mukaka what to do. Mukaka had to catch some red fish and cook them in an imu, then make an offering. Only then would Mukaka have the strength to pull the hala tree out of the ground to fill the spring. Aya he puna malalo o ka puhala, e hope, e vahi, e a e kuke I ka ia ula ula, e ho'okupu a e pule oi, e ike oi I ka puna. When Mukaka got up the next morning, he realized he had the same dream as his wife. He knew he needed to do what the man in the dream said to. Ua like ka moe uhane, e ia ka akua o kane. Ko mako kokua, pono au e lohe au ia ia. So Mukaka and a friend went to Waikiki to fish. They were able to catch some red fish, so Mukaka knew that the god Kane was with them. They rushed home to heat the imu. When the fish were cooked, Mukaka prayed. Then they ate, and after that, Mukaka told his friend about the two dreams he and his wife had had. Now it was time to pull up the hala tree to see if there was any truth to the dream. The two men grabbed the hala tree and they pulled hard. Their muscles strained and sweat poured down their bodies. They stopped for a while, then pulled again, but the tree didn't move. The friend looked at the dry ground and said that there couldn't be any water here. A'ohe vai matnei. Mukaka said that he knew the dream was true. He knew Kane was with them, so they had to try again. He oia i'o, he moi uhane oia i'o, e hana ko kaua, e huki mai kaua, e lanakila no kaua. So the two men began to pull again, and this time the tree began to move. They pulled harder and harder, and finally the tree came out of the ground, and they saw water moistening the earth. Mukaka ran to get his digging stick, his o'o, to clear away the dirt and stones. A tiny stream began to gush out. The three people stared in wonder, and then Kealoha shouted,
Ka Punahou, the new spring.
Now there was water for the entire neighborhood. Kealoha didn't have to walk to Ka Mo'iliili again. Water soaked the ground. Walls were built and taro was planted. Through these taro patches, lo'i kalo, water flowed steadily. Fish, i'a, were brought there. The i'a and kalo grew, so the spring provided food as well as water. The people thanked the gods Kani and Lono, the god of agriculture. Now their lives were good. Many years later, a school, Punahou, was built beside that spring, and it bears the name that Kealoha shouted in joy. The school sealed as a hala tree with water and kalo leaves. The founders of Punahou said that the school would be a spring for wisdom. As the hala tree stands firm through wind or storm, so shall the children of this school stand strong and brave through joy and sorrow. As the hala has many uses, so shall these children be useful to Hawaii.